Hi viewers, Vanakkam, Vandanam, Namaskaram. You are watching Aha Namma channel. It's full and full education and entertainment. Watch the video carefully and learn it everything.
We have a rectangle. This is its length and this is its breadth. So the area of this rectangle is equal to its length times its breadth. When I roll this rectangle, it becomes a cylinder, and the length of the rectangle becomes the circumference of the circular base, and the breadth of the rectangle becomes the height of the cylinder. And the area of this rectangle, it becomes the curved surface area of the cylinder. Hence we can say the curved surface area of the cylinder is equal to the area of this rectangle, which is equal to its length times breadth, and which is equal to the circumference of the circular base of the cylinder times the height of the cylinder. And as we know, the circumference of the circular base of the cylinder is equal to 2 times pi times r, whereas r is the radius of this circle. Hence we can say the curved surface area of a cylinder is equal to 2 pi r times h.
Surface area of a cylinder is derived is very interesting. Look at this cylinder. It has 2 blue circular ends, one on top and one at the bottom. Analyze the figure. As we know the area of a circle, we can easily find the surface area of the top and the bottom circular ends. But the important question is, how do we find the surface area of this curved surface? Let's zoom out a bit. First, let's separate the circular ends. This is the top one and this is the one at the bottom. To understand the curved surface, we cut it open vertically, which will make it look like this. We just cut the surface vertically. When this is opened up further, it will look like a rectangle. There are a few questions we need to ask ourselves here. First, what is the length of the rectangle? And second, what is its breadth? If you look carefully, you will notice that the length of this rectangle is actually the circumference of the circular base, because all we did was pull this open. What about its breadth? Its breadth is the height of the cylinder. Let's assume the height of the cylinder is h and the radius of the circular base is r. So the breadth will be h and the length will be 2 pi r. Don't forget, the area of this rectangle will be the curved surface area. But we need to find the total surface area of the cylinder. The surface area will be the sum of all these 3 surfaces, 2 circles and the curved surface, which is the rectangle. The area of the circular base is pi r squared. Since there are 2 equal circles, we write pi r squared plus pi r squared. This covers the surface area of the top and the bottom surfaces. And the area of this rectangle will be length multiplied by breadth, which will be 2 pi r multiplied by h. This 2 pi r h is actually the curved surface area of the cylinder. Adding these like terms, we get 2 pi r squared and we write 2 pi r h as is. 2 pi r is common to both the terms. So we write the final formula as 2 pi r multiplied by r plus h. If we are given the radius of the base and the height of the cylinder, using this formula, we can find out its total surface area. Circle, a curved surface, and another circle. This is a cylinder, a right circular cylinder to be precise. Every cylinder has a central axis which passes through the centers of the two circles. The areas of the two circles are equal. That's because the cylinder we consider has a uniform cross-section. This tells us that the radii of the two circles will be equal. In a right circular cylinder, the distance between the two centers of the circles is its height. Let's call it h. So how do we find the total surface area of the cylinder? It will be the sum of areas of the two circles and the area of the curved surface. As the radius is r, the area of each circle will be pi r squared. So the sum of the areas of both the circles will be pi r squared plus pi r squared. But what is the area of the curved surface? This is interesting. The curved surface when opened up will look like a rectangle. And what will be the length and the breadth of this rectangle? The breadth is easy. It will be the height of the cylinder. But what about the length? Yes, the length of the rectangle will be the circumference of the circle. It will be 2 pi r. It was easy. All we did was open this curved surface up. Anyway, these two together add up to 2 pi r squared, and the area of this rectangle will be 2 pi r h. That's it. This is the total surface area of a cylinder with radius of the base r and height h. As 2 pi r is common to both the terms, we can write it as 2 pi r times r plus h. That's the total surface area. What is this blue part then? It's called the curved surface area of the cylinder, 2 pi r h. And finally, we come to the volume of a cylinder. It equals the area of its base times its height. As the base is circular, its area will be pi r squared and its height is h. That's the volume of a cylinder, pi r squared h. You don't have to memorize any of this. You can easily derive the total surface area, and for the volume, you just need to know that it is the area of its base or its cross-section times its height. We have a right circular cone with a shaded base, and we will try to derive a formula for the surface area of a cone. Let us name the points O, A, B. Points A and B are marked on the circumference such that AB forms a diameter. Let L be the slant height and H be the perpendicular height. And let R be the radius of the circular base. First, let us consider the circular base. The radius of the circular base is r, so its area will be pi r squared. Next, we need to find the area of the curved surface. And we have seen that when the curved surface is opened up, it looks like a sector. We also need to find the area of the sector. Let the sector be OAB. Look at the sector and the cone. What do you think is the measure of these two lengths? OA and OB will equal the slant height, which is L. Here's another interesting question. What will be the length of arc AB? This is an arc as we know that a sector is part of a circle. This arc is actually the circumference of the circular base. So the length of this arc will be 2 pi r. A sector is also defined by the angle it subtends at the center. Let us call it theta. Now we are ready to find the area of the sector. And it gets even more interesting. There is another way in which we can find the length of the arc AB. Let's zoom out to look at the other way. It will equal theta by 360 multiplied by the circumference of the circle with radius OA and OB. What will be the circumference of the circle that is formed with this as the sector? It will be 2 pi L, since L is the radius of the circle of which this sector is a part. This tells us that the length of arc AB is a part of the circumference of the big circle that can be formed here. But the length of arc AB is also 2 pi r. That will equal theta by 360 multiplied by 2 pi L. Cancelling 2 pi out from both sides, we get r equal to theta by 360 multiplied by L. The area of this sector will be the curved surface area of this cone. The area of this sector will equal theta by 360 multiplied by the area of the circle with OA and OB as the radius. And that will be pi L squared, as L is the radius of this circle. Can we write this a bit differently? Yes, this can also be written as pi L multiplied by theta by 360 multiplied by L. We have just split pi L squared into pi L multiplied by L. But this part in brackets, as we just found out, is equal to r. So the curved surface area will be pi L multiplied by r. Let us review what we just did. We found out the length of arc AB in two different ways and equated them. And then we found out the curved surface area using the formula of a sector of a circle. And then finally substituted the value of r in this formula to eliminate theta. Now it's very simple. The total surface area of the cone will be the curved surface area plus the area of the circular base. The curved surface area, as we know, is pi LR, and the area of the base is pi r squared. Both the terms have pi r as their common factor. Taking pi r common, we write the formula as pi r multiplied by L plus r. This is the formula for the total surface area of a right circular cone. A cuboid is simply a box like this. It is three-dimensional as it does not occupy a part of just one plane. Three things define a cuboid: length, its breadth, and its height. This is a cuboid. What will be its surface area? As the name suggests, it will be the total area of all its surfaces. A cuboid has 6 surfaces in all, one at the front and one at the back. Their areas will be equal as it has a uniform cross-section. Area of each will be L times H, and the total area of both together will be 2LH. Similarly, the sum of the areas of the faces at the top and bottom together will be 2LB, and the sum of the areas of the faces on the right and left will be 2BH. That's the total surface area of a cuboid. Taking the factor 2 common, we can write it as twice LH plus LB plus BH. What is its lateral surface area then? The word lateral simply means side. This is the sum of the areas of the faces on the side, not the faces at the top or the bottom. So it will just be twice LH plus BH. We ignored 2LB as they are the areas of the top and bottom surfaces. So these are the two types of surface areas we had to understand. The last concept is that of its volume. The volume of a cuboid is simply the product of its length, its breadth, and its height, LBH. To be more specific, it is the area of its base times its height. Knowing stuff about cuboids also helps us understand its special case, the case of a cube. It looks similar to a cuboid. It has length, breadth, and height, with the only difference being that all three are equal. Let's say each is equal to S units. Think about it. If each of the sides are equal, then each face will be a square. The area of each face will be S squared. As there are 6 faces, the total surface area will be 6S squared. What will be the lateral surface area and the volume then? As it has 4 faces on the side, its lateral surface area will be 4S squared. As L, B and H are all equal to S, the volume of a cube will be side cubed. In the next session, we will look at the volume and surface area of a cylinder.
Thank you for watching நம்ம சேனல். இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க. மறக்காம இந்த சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணிட்டு பக்கத்துல இருக்கக்கூடிய பெல் பட்டனை ட்ரைன் தட்டுங்க. பை. Thank you for watching நம்ம சேனல். இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க.